The man had merely taken a nap when he woke in terror to find his home covered with mysterious black patches everywhere. Yet when he focused his gaze on them, the black patches would quickly vanish. Panicking, he fled the room, desperate to ask his neighbors what was happening.
What?
In his frantic escape outside, the man discovered the entire building had been corroded by the black spots. Looking around, the whole world had become bizarrely distorted. In the distance, buildings were not only crumbling but also tilting and floating in the void. The man had no idea why the world had transformed this way. Yet the flowing traffic and familiar low rumbling sounds in the distance were unmistakably the city's usual clamor. Surprisingly, the people here were as broken and damaged as his neighbors. Like soulless wandering spirits, they moved only by habit and routine. The man walked to the platform's edge, taking in the entire world's appearance. Here there was no distinction between up and down, left and right, nor any constraints of physical laws. Countless dilapidated buildings floated like islands in the air, scattered chaotically throughout the space. Thin pathways formed by the black patches connected them together, layering and extending beyond sight. Looking back at the damaged building beside him, the man couldn't help but recall its original appearance. Countless shining lines instantly overlaid it, and in moments, the building was restored to its former state. Even the stubborn black spots vanished under his gaze. As the man marveled at all this, he suddenly heard terrifying laughter from the distance. He quickly focused his attention and saw a horrific shadow on a distant building. Under his gaze, the shadow not only failed to dissipate, but transformed into a terrible monster that swiftly launched an attack. The monster's assault proved ineffective as a man and woman appeared just in time to save him. The team leader ordered the two members to take the man and leave first, then casually tossed aside the bucket in his hand and kicked a streetlight toward the monster. But the monster seemed immortal, reforming its body within moments. The four fled to a cliff's edge where the man froze in fear, only to be pushed off by the team leader behind him. After a rapid descent, the man slid into a cluster of Chinese-style buildings. Before he could process this exotic scenery, the three others arrived in succession, urging him to keep running, completely ignoring the bustling prosperity around them. They quickly left this landmass, crossed a bridge made of black patches, arrived at a water city, and then reached a broken bridge. Without hesitation, the three leaped into the air, falling through space to reach another building. The man watched in terror, hesitating to act, but with the monster closing in behind, he had no choice but to steel himself and jump. After a brief descent, he flew upward again, then plummeted once more. He barely managed to grab onto a rooftop to avoid falling into the void. With the monster gaining ground, the team leader angrily grabbed this burden of a companion, then once again stayed behind to cover their retreat, shooting the monster as it lunged forward. Unfortunately, his hand was slashed by the monster's claws. With no time to treat the wound, the four hurriedly escaped into a building level. But the monster's pursuit followed relentlessly, seemingly determined to fight to the death. The four were backed into a corner, yet no one suggested abandoning the rescue. The male team member beside them directly pulled out explosives, walked toward the monster without hesitation, and detonated the bomb. With no time to mourn their companion's death, they fled quickly.